Excellencies, dear friends, it gives me great pleasure to open this virtual concert of the United Nations Chamber Music Society to commemorate Nelson Mandela. On this day, we honor a global advocate for equality, dignity, and solidarity. On Monday, 20 July, on behalf of the Selection Committee, I will formally recognize the 2020 Nelson Mandela Prize laureates during the annual observance of Nelson Mandela International Day. The award recognizes the achievements and dedication of those who have been guided by the purposes and principles of the United Nations while serving humanity. This award also honors the extraordinary life of Nelson Mandela. His legacy endures in all aspects of reconciliation, political transition, and social transformation. The challenges we contend with today are varied and complex: COVID-19, climate change, racial injustice, hate speech, and deepening inequalities. Yet, if we recall the courage and compassion of Madiba and emulate his commitment to freedom, peace, and social justice, we'll create a healthy planet of hope, peace, dignity, and equality. I hope that today's concert will inspire you to take action to help change your communities and the world for the better. Mandela himself recognized the power of music to heal, uplift, and connect. I quote, "Music is a great blessing. It has the power to elevate and liberate us. It sets people free to dream. It can unite us to sing with one voice. Such is the value of music." I thank you.
Dear friends and colleagues, it gives me deep pleasure to send you greetings for the virtual concert in celebration of Nelson Mandela International Day, organized by the UN Chamber Music Society of the United Nations Staff Recreation Council. Madiba recognized the power of music to heal, to uplift, and to connect. He reminded us that, and I quote, "It is music and dancing that make me at peace with the world." As we mark the 75th anniversary of the UN this year, may music bring us peace in these tumultuous times and strengthen our resolve to emulate Nelson Mandela's example in striving for a world of freedom, peace, and social justice on a healthy planet. I wish you all an enjoyable concert.
Greetings. My name is Ndaba Mandela, the chairman of the Mandela Institute for Humanity. I would like to thank the UN Chamber Music Society for presenting this concert in celebration of Nelson Mandela International Day. This event symbolizes the world's calls to action for solidarity with all people everywhere fighting for justice and equality for all. In recognition of my grandfather's contribution to the culture of peace and freedom, Nelson Mandela Day recognized my grandfather's values and dedication to the service of humanity in the struggle of democracy internationally and the promotion of culture of peace throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to dedicate this performance to my late great aunt, Umazet, Uzinziswa, my twin, my beloved, I will always miss you, and to our other cousin who passed away as well this week, Siadumisa Kabada, Madiba Opuzupuzu. Ladies and gentlemen, this is dedicated to all the people all over the world who's lost someone to this COVID-19 epidemic. I say to you, stay strong. I say let us continue to show social distancing. Let us stay at home. Let us make sure we do what we can to beat this epidemic. Ladies and gentlemen, I commend the UN Chamber Music Society for featuring Black composers who have changed the course for classical music history. In celebration of this important day, I hope that you will enjoy this concert. I thank you. Happy Nelson Mandela International Day.
For many years, they tried to bring it down. A king without a crown, you were a proud. Never shed a tear when hardship came around. When our struggle was in town, you heard it down. Said you stood your ground and you made a vow to turn this thing round. apart, try to tear it down, laid us through the fire. Said you stood your ground and you made a vow to turn this thing round. Yeah, now we wait too far just to give up now. This freedom is because of you. Yeah. Viva, 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 Madiba. Oh, yeah, this freedom now. Viva, 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 Mandela. Oh, yeah, this freedom now. Mandela, yem, holy la. See I sit Langawe, see I sit Langawe. Father of a nation, sentenced to isolation. When our struggle was in town, you heard it down. Said you stood your ground and you made a vow to turn this thing round. Yeah, when they took apart, try to tear it down, laid us through the fire. Said you stood your ground and you made a vow to turn this thing round. Yeah, now we wait too far just to give up now. This freedom is because of you. Yeah. Viva, 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 Madiba. Oh, yeah, this freedom now. Viva, 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 Mandela. Oh, yeah, this freedom now.
This day recognizes Madiba's contribution to culture, freedom, peace, and unity. To recognize what's happening in the world today, to fight against racism, bringing people together, let the world know that this is the human race or for equality, standing together with unity and strength. As my father always said and always will say forever, peace and unity is what we need for mankind to survive. The music of one love. Father's always been an advocate towards love and humanity. My father's always been a representative for peace and freedom. I want to thank the family of Nelson Mandela. I want to thank my family, the Marley family. I want to thank Brenda Vangova for what she's doing and her contribution. Also, special thanks to the UN Chamber of Music and all the musicians that are participating in bringing this cry to the world, letting people know that your voices should be heard. To all the Black musicians, all the Black composers, thank you again for being a part of this movement. We need their voices to be heard. And that being said, one love.
Hello, I am Ilyasah Shabazz, author and educator. I share the legacy of my parents, Malcom X and Dr. Betty Shabazz, so that all children have the opportunity to know that they are worthy of self-love. Thank you to the UN Chamber Music Society for presenting this concert in celebration of President Nelson Mandela International Day, and for inviting me all the way in the U.S. to this important and outstanding occasion. And thank you, Ndaba Mandela, my friend. In recognition of President Mandela's global contribution to the culture of peace and freedom, I send my deepest condolences for my dear, beautiful sister, Zinzi Mandela. We will forever remember your bravery and political activism in your parents' honor. Nelson Mandela is also forever united with my father, Malcom X. Their commitment to God and to our people are unprecedented and timeless. Nelson Mandela said, when a man has done what he considers to be his duty for his people and his country, he can then rest in peace. Both Mandela and Malcom X sparked a revolutionary fire that is still burning, and it is our responsibility to carry their work and their legacy forward. Today, we are in need of strong and dedicated leaders now more than ever, and that is why President Mandela proclaimed, "I am Malcom X," because he knew the power of the undying spirit of freedom and liberation. For the past 200 years, Black composers were neglected from classical music concert halls, and so I commend the UN Chamber Music Society for taking charge and featuring Black composers and reclaiming the inclusion of Black classical music history. I know that you will enjoy this outstanding, beautiful concert in honor of President Nelson Mandela Day. Amandla!
Kosi sikeleli Afrika, malumpaganisu pondolwayot, iswahimi tandazo yetu. Kosi sikelela tina lusapolwayot, murenambulun kasitaba saisu, ofedi sedin wale masueni yehu, usibulunke ho simbulunke sentabasa Yesu sechabaza South Africa, South Africa. Hey, die bloemen onzien, ai die reban onzievige gebenis, weil ik rijf vroeg hier, sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
Hello, my name is Brenda Vongova, founder of the UN Chamber Music Society. Thank you for joining us for today's concert in celebration of Nelson Mandela International Day. I would like to thank the Presidents of the UN General Assembly and the UN Undersecretary General for Global Communications for their opening statements. I'd also like to thank all our extraordinary musicians and members of the UN Chamber Music Society and special guests, including Ndaba Mandela, Rohan Marley, Malcom X's daughter Ilyasah Shabazz, South Africa's legendary Vusi Nova and Onesimus, and opera singer Nonie Mtirara, Nelson Mandela's niece, for their kind support to this concert. Mandela's our hero because he embodies the hopes and dreams of true equality and justice for all people. He was always fighting for something greater than himself. He refused to compromise his position that every human being is of equal value and remains a hallmark of what it truly means to give of oneself selflessly. I hope that today's concerts and messages inspired you to act in support of building a more just and equal world with dignity and freedom for all.